Have you ever wondered what it's like to be in a cockpit going 600 miles an hour in a war zone? Former Weapons Systems Officer Carolyn Johnson shares the highs and lows of being a female naval aviator in her memoir, Jet Girl, My Life in War, Peace, and the Cockpit of the Navy's most lethal aircraft, the F-A-18 Super Hornet. Caroline served as an F-A-18 Weapons Systems Officer in the U.S. Navy and was the first woman to drop bombs on ISIS from that aircraft. She joins me now. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You have had a view of the war on terror and the things that we talk about very politically here firsthand. As you see what we've achieved in that part of the world and what we've achieved or haven't achieved in the war against terrorism, how do you feel about the role you played?
I am so confident about the role I played and feel so fortunate to have seen the things in real life that I saw on the ground. So on the USS George H.W. Bush, we were the first on scene in Iraq, and we conducted the first strikes in Syria with my squadron. And so, you know, it's an incredible experience to be live overhead, seeing these things play out in real life. Let's talk
about what it's like to be a woman in combat in the Navy, in an aircraft. You write in the book, assertive, strong-willed, gregarious, and willing to take risks. I was raised to be open to new experiences and have self-confidence, all prerequisites necessary to survive in a fighter squadron. These qualities, while highly valued for males in my field, when exhibited by a woman, were despised by some. Did you feel that?
Absolutely. So sometimes, you know, you're not going to please everyone. And the majority of people in my squadron accepted me for who I was. But sometimes there were those personalities that bristled against it, that really favored some of these traditional gender roles. And I defied that, because not only was I out there flying these missions in combat, I was doing so with pink nails.
What do you tell young women and girls who want to do what you've done, who want to sort of break any barriers left, or at least follow you through the ones that people like you have broken, about gender discrimination? Do you discourage anyone, or do you tell them go in headlong and fight it?
Never. Yeah, never discourage anyone, but go get it. If that's your dream, go achieve the highest heights and continue to blaze forward. And that's what we're here for, is to lift you up. You know, I've been through these experiences. I encountered my challenges like everyone does in life. And here I am, you know, on the backside of that. And I'm here to support you. And things are changing. They're getting better. And you are a valued member of the team. And you will thrive when you put your mind to it.
What are the things that got you down? What are the little things that happened that hopefully don't continue to happen, but that kind of made you wonder?
Yeah, so sometimes there were microaggressions. Most of the time it was hardly criminal, but was daily undermining, you know, my position in the squadron. And so when that piles up on you, it becomes a huge mountain that you have to climb out of. But it's no different than the private sector. Things happen, and we all encounter challenge, and it's about overcoming that. And you develop so much resilience and grit, and you become a stronger person. And now it's allowed me to reach back and become a mentor and a sponsor for men and women behind me.
I want to read something you wrote about ISIS. You said, I couldn't believe that a group so patently evil could exist. Every word I read, every image I saw stoked a fire inside of me that grew hotter and hotter, yet my exterior was cool. Game time was approaching, and I knew one fact with absolute certainty. My life over the last 7 years of relentless training was all leading up to this moment. It was not only our purpose, but our destiny to stop or slow down the tidal wave of murder sweeping over Iraq.
Yeah, I mean, day in and day out, we were witnessing the utter disregard for human life of ISIS. And that is something that in America we have no concept of. And when you're seeing it play out day in and day out, and you're waiting overhead to execute your job, which is protecting civilian life, protecting those who cannot protect themselves. I was reminded of this when I saw Nadia Murad won the Nobel Peace Prize, and we were overhead Mount Sinjar in Syria, protecting the Yazidis and fending ISIS off. And there is no higher calling than that.
You, in your book, you discuss friendships with people you call the Jet Girls.
Yes.
Who are they?
The Jet Girls are an amazing group of women who are strong and multifaceted and so incredibly talented, pilots and weapons systems officers, of women who are out flying fighter jets, who are out flying helicopters, you know, just these incredible women who are working hard to break barriers. And for me, it was a small group of women. Now it's growing. You know, they're calling it their posse, and they're just really tribe. There's not many women who can relate to these experiences. And so having that group of women to support each other and boost each other up in the hardest of times is hugely important.
Thank you for being with us. It's a great conversation, and congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much for having me.
Caroline Johnson is the author of Jet Girl, My Life in War, Peace, and the Cockpit of the Navy's most lethal aircraft, the F-A-18 Super Hornet. The book is out now.